Alright, now the road mic app is working. Excellent. Alright, perfect. Yeah, let's close this out. Get this working. Okay. Let's change this back line out. Alright, and we should be good. Turn the dates just down a little bit. Okay, cool. Hopefully chat's working. I'll chat Arena up as a as a backup. I'm not sure how productive today is going to be. There's a lot of stuff I need to get done for character creation, which is now actually going to be a thing. I gotta build a UI for it, so that's going to be cool. Yep. All right, yeah, we should be good. Okay, so anyway, this is what I'm working on today. It is more asteroid tech. You know, I want to make mining a thing. Mining is super important. And to make mining a thing, we need super in-depth, very thick asteroid fields that are still high performance. Under my glasses. Anyway, so I'm actually so X is good. YouTube comments, we should be live. I'm gonna move my stream deck over to the actual streaming PC to make things a bit easier. One second, I gotta move the screen here. Drawing tablet is like very hard to see. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, what we need to know what quadrant we're in. Well, let's take our camera. Yeah, let's add a zone. Evolutions, fine, scales, fine. So this thing's a bit low. Thank you. Let's make placeholder prototype. So for the ship, the ship is kind of going to be like a Hey Rad, you using Streamlabs or Streamlabs OBS? I'm using regular, just Streamlabs. Or sorry, regular OBS, just straight up original OBS. What was a good one? Oh, actually, yeah, this one. Maybe not. Hip movement. UI visual cursor. Hey, how's it going, Mischief? Oh yeah, we're gonna steal. We're gonna steal from myself. This is my little Descent clone that I was working on originally. I just want the VJoy cursor from it. Hey Vixus, how's it going? Alright. What is this opening? Open in file system. Alright, let's take these, put them in the asteroid system. Prefabs. UI. We got the male character in Pitches. I don't know if you were there for that. Oh, we were. Okay, so VJoy cursor is saved. So back in the main project. Oh man, reimport. Did you ever get that eye tracking stuff working? Yes, no. It works if we had the real license for the enterprise grade stuff, and for the non-enterprise grade stuff, we have a DLL that we had to reverse kind of engineer because there's no documentation for. So it was like kind of like half and half. I was able to get some of the basics working, but I need to go through the DLL and kind of like see if we can kind of inspect it and see like how we can kind of make it work. So instead of asteroid UI, we'll create a canvas layer, which will be just regular UI. And then in this asteroid UI, we're going to change just to be a control node, and we'll add it to the main UI. So that also means that we want to turn this into a control. Okay. This is going to go in UI. So scripts. Create a new folder, UI. What? Oh. Okay, VJoy cursor, asteroid UI can be moved. I'll show you what I'm working on here. It's just, let me remove my ship for a second. And then add back in the camera. I've had to redo this because I don't know. I don't know what I did with the prototype. Alright, so now asteroid UI needs to be a control. And save. And then this needs to go under canvas layer. I'm going to call UI. Okay, that's still good. That's good. Okay, asteroid UI is fine. Okay, let me. So the way this works is we have spatial partitioning. Each one of these grids are a multi-mesh instance set up with a noise algorithm. So we can kind of, you know, spawn in asteroids. This little section here is the field. This is the top of the field, so like the top area of what'll be like the ring, right? Bottom area of the ring. We can define the shape of the ring, you know, how we want it to kind of be perceived to the player on the graphical side of things. But as we're moving around the space, I want the asteroids themselves to kind of feed in based on the noise algorithm. So the idea is when you're in space, or on the server is keeping track of you and your position and whether or not you're in an asteroid field or not. And it's keeping track of what chunk you're in. And then there's an algorithm ran on the server side, you know, that's used to populate, you know, on the clients, all of the asteroids. So same algorithm, same noise texture, same 3D noise texture on both client and server. But on the server, it's generating collisions around the player based upon the number of asteroids in the chunk, so that you can hit them on the server side. And on client side, they're also generated for parity, so that we can still kind of have the player kind of hit something, you know, even though it's the server's version of them hitting something that's actually important. But, you know, the idea is as we move away from these chunks, they unload. So they're just loading in, you know, around the player in the field, but in the same way Minecraft works, you know. That's the idea anyway. And then we need to figure out how I'm gonna, you know, spatially distribute the different types of asteroids that have value, you know. They'll only have collisions when they're close enough. Right? Because we're not using a collision shape on them. We're using a distance calculation to their origin, right? Which is the center. There will be some big ones that'll kind of spawn in that'll have like, you know, but just in general, we're not gonna have a billion. You know, we can't have 250,000. Star Wars asteroid with a worm. Yeah, exactly. You know, can't really run like 250,000. It'll be like I was working on here. So I mean, well, here's like an instancer test, like as an example. Right. So like this. Right. This is a very loose example. Right. We have an algorithm, and that algorithm creates distribution. Right. Like unlimitedly. So like, you know, it doesn't really matter where you are, right? The noise is seamless. So like in this case, I'm just generating, you know, trees, but there are colliders, you know, on the trees. So it's just, you know, the same concept, only like, you know, asteroids, right? But we need to kind of like make sure that on the asteroid side of things, it's only like a distance check. We're not actually going to spawn in, you know, like anything complicated like we would if we were doing, say, a forest. You know, obviously it's finding more than this, you know, as far as the multi-mission is concerned. But you get the idea, right? It's the same, it's conceptually the same concept, right? World streams in around player, and collision stream in around them and around them on the server, more importantly. Right, so the server is responsible for keeping track of players and wherever they are, only loading in the things around them that is important to them. Right, so even as players overlap each other, that's actually performance gain if you think about it, right? It would only be if players are kind of all over the place everywhere, right? That the server would have to maintain instances of everything. It doesn't even need to ever load the entire star system. I mean, it could, but it would just load whatever is around each of the players that are playing on the server, right? That's the idea. So yeah, so I'm trying to just kind of think about how I want to do this, because I want to be able to feed it, like I want to be able to feed the algorithm any position. That's why I'm switching things over from the camera to be the ship itself, as it would be the ship or player within the ship that's being tracked, right? And whenever the ship moves, you know, so far, we spot, you know, we kind of like chunk in more, right? Like we don't, we just leave them loaded in, and then as we kind of start reaching the bounds, we kind of start spawning in more. And the idea is you know, they'd be spawned in at a high enough distance that you would never really notice. Right, and then I also want to make sure we are phasing them in as well. So it's like if you come out of warp and you're like decelerating into an asteroid field, like we don't want to, like, you know, I want to make sure the ship, like the field itself, creates enough of a gravitational influence that you can't just warp through the field, you know. It'll be even harder to get away, you know, from, you know, because you kind of gotta navigate it to a certain degree. Yeah, so that's a food for thought. I need to get coffee. Ugh, coffee or sleep. You know, slowly getting more viewers. Awesome. Hopefully the YouTube keeps on growing, you know? Yep. We can get to the point that I can just do this. Hey, Stuffy. But yeah, I want to get mining working very soon. That's my goal now. Just I want to get stuff together. I'm tired of the how long stuff's taking to kind of play catch up. You know, I want to see more gameplay. I want to be able to play around with gameplay loops, you know. Anyway, let's get the ship working. Tired of working on it? No, not tired of working on it. I'm just tired of not being able to play it. Or like, what's the word? Like, I want it. I want to get to the point where you know, we're all together as the final male and female in the truck stop. You know, which is where we were in Unity per se. Like, I want to build a, you know, not necessarily. I guess instead of like Unforgiven Systems being the main test project, it's Unforgiven Space. You know what I mean? So it's, you know, less gray box, more like, you know. Yeah, so ship. Camera mount. Yeah, I'll just find it. Don't worry about the droid cursor. We'll get it just find it so. I don't know if there's a camera mount. I think that's for first person. Oh. Oh yeah, right, we don't have any of the input mapping done for this. Forward, back, up, down, left, right, roll left, roll right. Forward, back. Yeah, because I want to set up an actual a prototype ship for this, so we can use the ship as the tracking for the field. What was the sense? What was the ships here? How heavy were they? That's a ship model. Player ship. Player ship is 1 kilogram. Here as well. Recaps. I don't think. Oh yeah. Okay. So this is the. Kitchen roll. Did I get that in there? VTOY cursor aim. Yep. Yeah, if event is mouse motion, aim vector. Yeah, I don't think it has to be unhandled. Could just be input. GD dot print. Let me see what this aim vector is as I'm changing it. Space field. It's not doing anything. And yeah, I think it needs to be a little bit more heavier. I do love that the LODs are actually working too. Yes, I wonder why. Yeah, I wonder why our the VJoy cursor is not working. Is it because we're not captured? Probably not. Enabled is false. Oh, okay. Turn it on by default. There we go. Yeah, so at least we have something that we can. Oh my god. Yeah, so the ship. Yeah, so this is working. And we just need on the ship a little bit of yeah, I need to make escape toggle the joystick. On input, if input this action just released, cancel. Then VJoy. Yeah, we're just gonna toggle. Yeah, so enable this private. Let's do public instead. Yeah, I'm just gonna make it toggleable in public. Yeah, I'll make it toggleable outside the script. It's doing it here anyway. Oh, it's already doing it. Never mind. Never mind. I've already done that. Yep. Yeah, so let's do cancel. Alright, so the ship itself needs dampening for a boat. That would need to be increased. And we cancel. As escape. Okay. Yeah, it needs a lot more damp than that. Maybe you wrong. With less force. And then when we hold shift, it'll be like a boost mode, so we can go really, really, really quick just for debugging purposes. Because that'll be a little bit easier. I call it boost, maybe? I don't know what I call it. No. I think it's just sprint as the action. And then shift doesn't need any of that shit. And then this torque force, go for this forward. I'm just gonna also say if input that is key if action pressed shift, or what was that? I'm going to do this times 4. Hello, I have a question. Is it easier to learn C# and work with Unity as a beginner, or is GDScript better? I don't use GDScript, and my biggest reason why I don't use GDScript is I use a lot of things like Newtonsoft JSON. Like I use a lot of C#, you know, or .NET features, right? If you know that's kind of the big thing. Like there's nothing wrong with GDScript, especially if you're doing a web game. Right now for .NET, we're kind of waiting for .NET 9 to get web exports working for like WebAssembly. But I mean, as far as like, you know, usability is concerned, I guess, like, you know, it just depends, right? Both languages have a full, complete, you know, API level access to everything. Like everything under the hood, C# or GDScript is going to be fine. I like right now on the C# side having interfaces. Interfaces to me are like really important. They make you know, kind of decoupling code a little bit easier. Traits and interfaces don't exist yet on GDScript. But for, you know, if you just want to only use Godot and, you know, just kind of use what's built in without any dependencies, I'd say learn GDScript. If you want to do other things, like if you're not a developer and you want to maybe get a job, you know, as like a enterprise admin or like building web APIs or just doing something else other than game dev, then C# will give you more options, right? Because you're working with C# every day for your game, and then, you know, you can build up all the other web services and things on top of that with C#. So, and C# is also usable on Unity as well, right? So whether you're using Godot, so to give you an idea, my game was ported over from Unity to Godot, and there's probably, if we look at it, let's take a look here. So let me actually open up my the actual Unforgiven Space project, right? There's literally over I think 600 C# scripts that I've had to port. Within a few months, I just started learning it with Unity. It's pretty simple, you know, and you start not really think when you're using it in game dev, you're just using like, you know, like the language itself starts coming pretty simple, and a lot of the documentation now is straightforward, like for everything. In Godot, so the biggest thing to learn is how to read the documentation. Documentation is literally everything. If I want to learn how to do, you know, a mesh instant 3D as an example, once I find the docs here. So everything here on the side, this is everything you can do with the Godot API, right? Everything. And for a lot of these things, like an area 3D, which is a trigger, when you scroll down, you'll start noticing there's actually a lot of they have both examples now for most of the stuff, right? So for mostly like for everything from let's see, like, you know, where's the let me find it here. Yeah, so C#.net, right? So there's a whole thing here on Godot of how to get going, how to set things up, and then there's kind of like the basic features, and you know, like a lot of stuff here is you know, pretty straightforward. There's a style guideline. There's kind of like you know, and you just kind of dig into it and kind of, you know, get started. Lots of YouTube tutorials, right? How to set up your class, things like that. The naming conventions of things. Right. Learning how to read the code, like everything in Godot, you can kind of, like if I want to know anything about this node 3D, I can just click on it. And it'll bring me to, you know, the C# code for the node 3D. And it'll tell me everything about it. Like you kind of have everything at your disposal, you know? Whenever you're trying to figure out, like, how do I move this ship around? Let's go back to the other project. So like the ship that I'm working on, if I want to know what, you know, what other features a rigid body can do, it's all documented. Everything is, for the most part, you know, fairly documented. Right, but it depends on how, like, you know, how long you want to work on it for. If you only have 20 minutes a day, it might take you a bit longer. But you need to have a game in mind, or just something small, something to kind of get going. You know, you need to be wanting to solve something. You need to have something in your kind of thought process that you're like, I want to do this thing. Yeah, so let's see if Sprint works. Yeah, it seems to work. Have you followed any tutorials or courses? Sorry I'm bothering you, but I'm going to start making games, and I need some help to see what's better, what's the most used now. Probably Unity. Right. Unity is probably still like the thing about Unity. The difference, like Godot is free, total freedom. You know, it's also growing extremely fast. So it's like Blender, you know what I mean? Comparing the game engines of, let's say, Unreal and Godot or Unity and Godot reminds me of the old argument of Maya versus Blender. At a period of time, there was a lot more corporate money and investment, obviously being put into Maya as a 3D, you know, workflow application. And Maya is still ultimately still used, but just Blender has slowly grown to a point that an artist can effectively use Blender professionally and, you know, create most of the same things, right? It's a good tool. And I think Godot as a game engine is going to be like that too. But the issue is like if you go to the Unity asset store, you know what I mean? Like you have so much, you have a lot more resources for Unity. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of stuff. And a lot of stuff won't help you. I mean, buying a character and sticking them in the game, you know, like it's definitely going to get you going. You know, but if your intention is ultimately to learn how to do this stuff from scratch anyway, you know, right? So there's less, and you can still buy Unity assets, and you can even import them into Godot. I mean, that's what I've done for some of the characters. A lot of the stuff is in FBX format, so it can be used with all engines, really. But you know, you just do have a lot more options at your disposal. Like there's kind of You know, like FPS controller as an example. Like you can go and pay for, I think Aspif, this one, $250, right? Like if you need it to, you can just pay $200 and you kind of get this fully crazy controller that does everything, you know, out of the box, you know. But that doesn't mean it's better, you know. That's really subjective, right? Yeah, Unity is a lot easier to learn, probably a lot more tutorials, way more tutorials on the Unity side. But Unity tutorials suffer the same fate as, like, you know, Unity still changes often. And it's just, you know, the tutorial landscape is very similar to Godot. And, like, you'll learn, how do I use the input system? And it's like, well, the old input system, the new input system, rewired, you know, there's many different ways of doing things as Unity evolves. So even with tutorials, it's kind of, you know. But I mean, I like the freedom of Godot, and it works great with VR. And you know, it's coming along. It's, you know, it's got some growing pains, but there's nothing you can't do with the you know, with either. I gave up on programming when I made this big program in Java. Got it working. Class that is finished, and Java updated some code, and I couldn't get. Was that? And I had to change the whole thing. Oh, and you would have had to change the whole thing. Oh man. Oh, my nerves. Were you chatting with my sister? I might be. I might be leaving the current job. You heard? Okay, cool. Yeah, the fourth is the final interview. Well, you know, it's 4 times the amount of money. There's, yeah, 2,500 rocks here. These are all chunks of asteroids. Whee. They won't all be mineable. They're going to be, some of them are going to be mineable. Here I was coming in and showcasing my rendering tech I've been working on. And you show off this. I mean, yeah, I've showed this off before. I've had to rewrite it because I lost the code. Yeah, I actually need to... You stream quite late for me. It's almost 2 a.m. Yeah, it's 9 p.m. here, which is normally when I start. Yeah, so I'm not going to return. I'm just going to... Yeah, so we just want to boost on the forward. I'm not writing extremely clean code. This is prototypey code. Here's my last 2 months trying to learn shaders. Let me... Are these all voxels? Like little tiny... This is awesome. Each cube is a block. Nice. So each of the little cubes, so I can see them. So each of the, I don't know what we would call these. It's like 100k objects or something. That's awesome. And you're doing this in Unreal? High detailed models? Oh, in Unity, cool. What's the edge, like what's the purpose of this type of rendering feature? Oh, it's based on a Valheim block building system. Gotcha. For real-time damage? Yeah, yeah, yeah. That'd be cool too. Can players place these? All these little blocks? It's cool. Am I subscribed? Look, I am subscribed. I'm one of the 29. You guys should subscribe. Well, technically, I don't have support for dynamic updates. Gotcha. Okay, now that I have a ship here in the test world, we can kind of play around with it a bit more. Yeah, so I think what we'll do, let's do the same thing for back. And we'll do probably a multiplier of 8. I'm wasting time to set myself up for something better. Sounds like Raz, Mom. Do you load these asteroids? Yeah, so take a look here. Wait, let me yeah. Can you land on the asteroids? No. I mean, I can go in them. I can become the asteroid. I tried to calculate the chunks to be rendered in the order from the player, but the algorithm came to like 1 milliseconds per run. Gotcha. Is this coming along? Especially given that didn't exist, and I had to rewrite the whole thing. I had to go and like decompile the the original build that I did. I kind of worked backwards. But I don't think so. But I do believe that multi-mesh instancing, I think they automatically... Yeah, I think they do auto ordering. And I think we can also dynamically adjust the fade range by distance of the multi-mesh instance itself, which would be the chunk, because every chunk is a one multi-mesh instance, and then and obviously Godot's multi-mesh instance system is designed to handle, you know, like it's one game object, but it's one game object that represents a whole bunch of meshes on video card. Yep. Like with multi-meshes, you tell it what mesh to render in code, and then all you feed into it is the positions. And you don't have to feed in a massive array of vector threes either. You can iterate, feed it in, and then and just kind of forget about it. If anyone could get that server meshing working before I say, I know. Yeah, let me show you what I got working yesterday. This is why we're taking a break, because we're kind of celebrating. I finally fixed the mesh for the male. The spine is still a bit weird. Like, I've been finding more bugs with it, but I now know how to do it. Night and good luck. Thanks again. Check this out, Rayla. So I'm going to I'll move this over here on the side. Here, actually, I'll move this over on the second screen. And I'll take over the camera on the second screen. Check it out. All right. Oh, and of course now it's going to go really slow because I just, for some reason, is that a Winamp icon? Oh, it is a Winamp icon. So I got the, oh, whenever I like snap it in place, it freaks out. Oh, hang on. Come on, give me back my frames. It hates. There we go. All right, we're good again. So yeah, I got the male character in. So we have all the walk animations. We have the new crouch. Look at how smooth that looks. So you can now sneak around. Now the IK stuff is a bit weird. I haven't redone the IK the wrist mapping. But anyway, I'm gonna go take over the camera real quick. And let me find where I put my character. So yeah. I was getting there. Yeah, the rifle's not done yet, and this is not working. I just got them in, so just the basic stuff's working right now. But it's come along. Yeah, it's not Winamp, it's Audacious, and Audacious has a Winamp skin. So you can download Audacious. Audacious is literally just a free audio player, but it actually allows you to, you know, if I change it to like, you know, the standard interface, it looks like this, you know. But it supports Winamp skins. And like all the original ones. If you remember a lot of these from Winamp. But the classic one you can't really go wrong. Yeah, Winamp was awesome. But yeah, anyway, that's the yeah, I'm working now on getting the final ship fully working in Blender. So I'm redoing all the bottom panels so we can actually take off all the components. I mean, you could do it in gray box because there's nothing covering up the panels, so you don't have to take the panels off. But that's my, you know, I want to get the male and female finished. The next step after I get them done is get the character creator. Then I want to take the male and female and apply them to the NPCs. We have different variations. You do, yeah. You have to remove them. Yeah, right now anyway, because I don't have the... and if you respawn the ship, it'll, you know, respawn the panels in. But I... and I redid the... so the back ones open. So you can just pull the tanks out. But these ones here for now, I'm just going to remove. Just so you can gain access to everything. But in future, I'm going to add these like swing arms. So they'll kind of come out kind of this way and kind of open. But I want to make sure that we're able to, you know, no matter how high the ship is off the ground, we're able to kind of work on it. So I just kind of cleaned up, you know, the surface a bit, kind of get it all ready to be play tested. But I redid a lot of this, kind of cleaned it up a bit. Yeah, yeah, that's how it's gonna be. What was the other thing we finished this week? There was something else that was kind of a big deal. But yeah, I've been going through and cleaning up stuff. Yeah, because I want to get the Habs finished online. I want to get back to art. Get back into the art sprints. Hey, Mungalo. All I can say to you, I'm pretty excited. If I can get this job, then I'll be able to hire someone to work on art pretty much full time. So while I'm doing other things, I can definitely like be commissioning out, you know, a couple $100 worth of projects. Just get stuff banged out. It'd be great. But I do want to get into it myself and actually start doing final work, finishing all the panels, baking out all the normals. I think these, yeah. Look at, I'm totally squirreled from what I was supposed to be working on. Then I can buy you a horse. Yeah, we might be able to afford to maintain a horse then. Alright, so I want to create a couple of spheres that are going to be our little test asteroids. I wonder, can we create a version of this? Or just add a shader that takes the, yeah, you know what, maybe we can do that. Materials. Where is our asteroid? I just made 2 assets for the Germ Jam game. Very final and professional assets. Can you want to link them? Yeah, I think if we take this and duplicate it, or in our case, yeah, let's duplicate it as for asteroid material, asteroid material. So we'll duplicate it, and then we'll make it unique. We'll make it unique. And the material is runnable. Yeah, so I can give it a color. Let's give it something kind of ore-ish. And then I'll give it an emission value. And maybe just some color. And we're going to multiply. And then increase the strength. Yeah, maybe we can do that. Sent on Discord? Okay. Yeah, so this will be our regular, this will be our ore. And why is normal so bad? Why is the scale of the normal so bad? Rin, clear code. Okay. Discord. Oh, I saw the fish. Cannon. Cool. Is it just you for the jam? Are you just doing it solo? Of the 3 new unit style assets, guess which one is named chat named Bruce? This one. I think the fish is named Bruce. He looks like a Bruce. Was I right? Yeah, let's save this. Okay, let's create an asteroids folder. Mineable. And I want to double the size. That is indeed Bruce. He will be a proper bastard mid to late game. Excellent. And I guess we'll just scale this up. Even rigged and animated the flop. Nice. Oh no. Oh, I must not have made the mesh unique. There's a lot of minables. It was not the intention. Oh yeah, no, I did. Quick load. Alright, change it back to the asteroid. And then the asteroid mineable. We'll make unique. And then we'll quick load. There we go. I know there should just be one. No? What? Hello? Does the mesh itself need to be unique? Hang on. So this one is the mineable. Yeah, it's not. Okay. Asteroid. It's going to go back in the asteroid scene. Asteroid. I'll change this back to what it was. Save it. We want to do our asteroid mineable. Make unique recursive. Okay. Yeah. And then that'll give us a duplicate of the mesh. Okay. Alright. Good. Alright, so these will be like mineable. Cool. So we want to create. Yeah, you get random rotations and stuff as well, but and I want, yeah, so we should be able to create a couple of variations of these and save them. Yeah, I guess when you duplicate them, so we'll do mineable 2. We'll go more yellow. So there's 1, 2, and something blue, I guess, for another variation. Because right now, it's just getting the systems working, so we don't really care too much about what they look like. As long as it works at the end. Yeah, why does it change the original? Mineable material, mineable 3. Well, it's like a not being unique. I don't know why the icons aren't updating, but they're working. Kinda working. Why? Open with external program. Why when I duplicate something? What makes it unique? Right, right. It's just linking to the same. Turn temperature, normal scale. It's like if this one is now fine, on its own, doing its thing. The mindable one. But now my orange one's gone. This one's fine. But this is supposed to be the orange one. Weird. Seems fine now. Hey, Jotson, how's it going? Thanks for your. I haven't booted in my Linux distro yet to kind of play around, but one of the things I want to kind of do, sometime over the next little bit, is look at switching over, so I can focus a bit more on the game, a bit more professionally. I'm working on a chunked asteroid system right now. Really, it's a rewrite because I already had a lot of this working before, but now I had to redo it again. Because I want to make mining fun. Actually, relying on scanning and going deep into the belt, and having like risks. And what did I do with that? Right, like just finding that one that I manually placed is literally almost impossible without knowing our position. It's funny. Wow, that was cool. Yeah, it used to look a lot cooler, but I had a lot of the properties more defined. Anyway, but yeah, because right now there's a 250,000 multi-mission instances here in this particular scene. And the idea is that you use noise to generate, like predictable noise, seeded noise, to generate the asteroid field. So the idea is there's these chunks of 100 meters by 100 meters, and each chunk is a multi-mesh instance, which has its internal spawned asteroids. And this way, on the multi-mesh instance itself, we can set the fade. So, for performance reasons. And the idea is whatever the seed that is used to generate the meshes for rendering are also the same seed used to feed it a position and return a native array of vectors of asteroids that are around the ship. So this way we can do, faux collisions, right? So it's kind of like, I'll show you kind of an example of this in another project that I have here real quick. This is another example of using, noise. It's with my planet tech. What? Planet is opened in 4.3. Opening it will change it to 4. Wait, what? 4.2. What? Hello? Planets. There we go. So I'll show you what I mean by like how this will work. So this example here is an instancer that I whipped up. And in this particular example, just to show you, right, as I move around, it creates multi-mesh instances based on the seed. And in this case, because noise itself is, predictable, we can use the same noise to spawn in colliders. Now, obviously, this would only be happening kind of on the server, so for every player, the server is kind of keeping track of them. And then it spawns in these, collision shapes just to, for itself authoritatively. Even on the client, we don't even need to do this. It's just the server kind of like, using the same noise to render collisions as on the client. It's using the same noise to render the multi-meshes. So what you're seeing here is a combination of both what will be happening on a server and what will be happening visually on the client as you're kind of moving around. So this hit, basic height map and some random noise. But for the asteroid system, the idea is exactly the same thing. We can't load in whole giant planets and terrain and all that kind of stuff. It has to be procedurally done in a way that's performant. So this is kind of how the asteroid field would work. But instead of a spawning in a literal collider, we would only need to do a distance check. We don't need to return, the position, and then we can do a quick distance check. So we have the sensors, the ship kind of, like detecting all of the asteroids, which is that return of feeding in your real position into the asteroid field, and then getting back, the things that are around you. And on physics update, we do that, and then do the calculations, and then you can blow up by hitting an asteroid. Even though there's, in my case, there's 250,000 of them, but they're not actually going to be they're not going to be that plentiful. This is like everything I do, always create worst case scenarios, because if things perform well in a worst case scenario, then you can have it not be so bad. Like, anyway, so that's what I've been working on today. Because I have a cool idea of kind of what I want to, how I want to go about the mining ultimately. Like I have a gameplay, idea, and implementing that idea is of course the challenge. But let me give you a shout out. Jotson's an amazing developer and artist. He's very musically inclined. I wonder where that failed. Yeah, so I'm just creating multiple, variations of these, things that I can multi-mesh, because I want to start getting distribution of them, of the mineable asteroids, and, throw a collision shape on them, because they will be the mineable versions. Anyway, yeah, let's move these into materials, which apparently already exists. Oh yeah, there we go. Boop these into materials. I don't know why it loses the previews. It's so weird. Right? Anyway, so, and then prefabs, asteroids. So this is the mineable. Let's duplicate this. Let's be mineable 2. And then we'll make this one unique, recursive, boop. And then we'll give it this. What's it called? Mineable 2. Asteroid. Mineable. Mineable 2. And we'll duplicate this one as mineable 3. do the same thing. And then we're good. So mineable 3, mineable 2, and our mineable. And I think yeah, I could say we could say with the meshes themselves. Maybe we should have done that. Maybe we should have just like duplicate the mesh and apply the unique materials on the mesh side, because they're going to be converted into multi-meshes anyway. It doesn't matter. Right, so now we just have like 3 variations of things that we can mine. Right, so that's enough distribution to be able to kind of play around and yeah, I wonder if we could use a screen space. I wonder if we could use the depth buffer in a screen space to do like a sweeping scanner effect. It's already rendered. I don't really want to use anything too crazy, but it'd be nice if we could. Yeah, it's on these. Yeah, I wonder. I'm actually curious. Microwave. 4 years ago. Oh, it's on the ground. Stuff to send to myself. Yeah, because it's kind of a LiDAR scanner is kind of the idea. Yeah, because if we did a quad, if we inverted a mesh and scaled it outwards, almost like we did with the force field shader, we could just hit everything. Because we would do it back face only, right? So we do back face out, and then whatever we hit. But I don't know how well that'd work with multi-mesh instances, or if it's even possible. The Vista, real shit. Another one. So this is on. It needs to be added to a quad mesh 2.2 render fun. Want to just turn clip faces on the mesh and the geometry. Oh no, we're actually using depth for that. Depth from camera. Oh, that might actually work. So based on these, copy mesh. Play these rows with shader material. We have to export Render 3D from origin point. Don't forget to assign the start point. We did port this to assets, shaders, shader, and yeah, so we're getting unshaded, start point, pulse point, radius by screen texture, depth texture, necessary for rebuilding the world coordinates. Nice sphere functions. We have a assigned distance field sphere. Replacements for a crater. Oh, okay, makes sense. That's what you do. Unnecessary for this, but to get the LiDAR depth value, you can get the inverse projection matrix by the NDC, which is our screen UVs times 2 minus 1. So we're entering our screen UVs. It would be like a radius from the center of the screen. Adjusted point, lower our sphere. Extra calculations to get the correct gradient correction. Okay. So on our camera. So we did on the ship camera. Mesh instance 3D. Quad. We're gonna flip our faces. New shader material. Add scan. Yeah, so these are the points that we need to feed into this thing. Yeah, so let's create a new script called scan.cs. Scan visual.cs. We'll port this mesh instance 3D. And then we're going to port this. No, why they call it like origin point when it's a node? Is that a float 4 for a global transform? Oh yeah, yeah, it is. Okay, that's fine. This should be origin mode. That's fine. And then we'll do public. Override. Process. If it is running. I didn't see a distance value. Oh. Max distance, speed. Max distance, speed, distance, and is running. Max distance, speed. Oh, here. Yeah, it's a distance. Distance, delta, speed. Yep, so that's if it's running, and otherwise if. Yep. is action just pressed. UI accept. It is running this true. And then distance will be 0.0. And then we're good. We're ported. Okay. I'll clean this up a little bit. Okay, so start point be global position. And then whenever we hit our UI accept, set distance be. And that should do the scan effect. So let's put a visual scan. Put our visual scan code on it. Okay. And then that should be everything that we need. What do we use for scanning? Oh no, getting an error. Oh, the material, shader material. Let's get active material on our mission since 3D. Should be start point. Let's see. So in the ship, we have the visual scan. Oh yeah, so the origin node, I guess, would just be the ship. It's probably the best thing to use, I guess. The mesh is fine. This is the material. Load flipped. It's just not enter. That said, I can't really tell. Alright, let's see. On visual. Yeah, I'm gonna say gd.print scanning. Okay, so it's supposed to be happening. But I'm wondering if our camera is moved up too far. I think we're using it. I wonder if we need to move this ahead a little bit. I mean, I'm seeing it now. Let's decrease our near plane and increase our far plane. On the camera. Okay. Like, I don't see anything happening on the shader, but let's go and let's see if I can make something happen. Like, I need to get back over here. So in remote, on our ship, we have our mesh. So this camera would have the visual scan. So this shader radius, do I change it? Pulse width of 2. Yeah, we're not getting anything. Don't see the camera. Oh, we don't see the camera map. Yeah, because we should be seeing that. Like, the position of it is not changing. And I don't think I said it at top level. Origin node is defined. Kinda saw something then. Wait a second. Yeah, I gotta move it ahead a bit more. Like, it's not really doing anything. Alright, this scan. I mean, unless we don't flip it. Yeah, this is not really in front of the camera. Yeah, why does it hide? Almost flipped. Hmm. Yeah, space is supposed to be initializing it. No, not seeing anything. Alright, we're getting the global transform as a Vic-4. And then a radius, setting a radius. -0.5. Unshaded, so settings to play with. Post color. Updated by script, the radius. Alright, varying mat for necessary for rebuilding the road building. Yeah, that's fine. Radius 200. Pulse width. I guess this might be like much larger. Okay. Alright, not singing anything. Why don't we use the user self for the distance for origin nodes? Max distance, speed, 200. Mm-hmm. Nope. Weird, because I'm not seeing anything on the shader. We're on the other side of the shader. Further around the ship. Back at the camera that's supposed to be there. Oh, I guess because I'm taking over the camera, I'm not going to see it. It'd be behind me. Let me actually move this out from the... It'll have the same space as the camera, but I'm just going to move it a little bit forward. Yeah, it's weird that Gizmo's around, but I can't see them. It's like we can look through that one. Alright, and I'll move that head. So I can actually take over the camera. And not hijack the, okay. So somewhere here. Yeah, I don't see the effect at all. Like when I hit space, this does turn into this for a second, but it's not really a scanning effect. So this one's not quite doing it. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go get ready and raid someone, play a bit more Star Wars. We'll work on this again tomorrow, but I think tomorrow we're actually going to be working on the character creator. Like a first pass on the character creator. It should be cool. Yeah. Alright, so I'll end it here on the socials, and we will be back tomorrow.